Hi guys, this is Marcelina. Check this out. Look at the base of this desert rose, guys. Look at that, it's huge. This is also known as codex. If you want to grow a desert rose plant and create a codex like this, today I'm going to show you how to grow and care a desert rose plant. Stay tuned, be right back. Hello happy YouTubers! Welcome back. This is Marcelina at cashewgreens.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to grow a desert rose plant from seed, how to transplant the seedlings, and plant care. If you are new here, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Also hit like if you enjoy watching this video. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's do it! Alright guys, get your seed tray ready. Disinfect with alcohol or you can use 10% bleach. Fill your tray with potting mix. You can use microgreens as I would recommend, or you can create your own soil list of 2-to-1 ratio, which is 2 parts coco peat with perlites and 1 part vermiculite. With 1 teaspoon of neem powder, sprinkle the powder onto soil. This is going to help damping off. Place your seed, lie flat, cover lightly. This is going to help germination easily. Using a purified water or chlorine-free, water the germination to wet the soilless media. And allow the water to wick. You might need to spray water on the top surface of the soil to get the wicking process started. I would recommend to use neem powder, mix in water, and spray the soil list. Cover the tray with a doom. This is going to help create moisture. In the first week of germination, close the lid or close the vent and always label the seeds, the name of the seeds, and the time of germination. After a week of germination, this is the result. So the seeds starting to grow, and this is the time that you're going to open the vent. Open it halfway. After your seedling is producing true leaves, you open the vent wide. You want to release the moisture inside. There is still a little bit of moisture, but majority of the moisture escaping out. Now, before you transfer, almost 2 months, you're going to remove the seed tray from the heating mat. You open the lid because you don't need the heating mat, and you don't want to close the lid because they are already growing. So the best time to transfer the desert rose is 2 months old. So this is 2 months old, and I'm going to show you guys how to transfer the seedlings into its individual pots. So stay with me until the end of this video because there are so many materials that I'm going to cover with you in this video. Alright, how are we holding up here? Are you still with me? If you enjoy watching this video, guys, give it 1,000 likes. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Share this information to all your friends, especially for those who want to grow desert rose and need more information how to grow and care for the plant. The only way you can get a beautiful base or codex of the plant like what you see here, this is 1-year-old desert rose, is to grow from seed. If you grow the plant from cutting, you don't see a full-size codex. So grow from seed. The best time to transplant seedlings are in their 2 months of growth. You want to place them in containers so they will continue to grow and give you a beautiful codex. Some gardeners, especially for those who are new to gardening, are afraid of transplanting plant because they believe or think that they might kill the plant during or after transplant. This is true. In agriculture and gardening, transplanting or replanting is the technique of moving a plant from one environment to another. This kind of movement is critical and should be handled carefully because it brings a significant risk of killing the plant. If this is what you worry about, in this video I'm going to show you how to transplant seedling and help you make a smooth transition so you can take care of your desert rose. So are you guys ready? These are the desert roses, 2 months old, and we're going to transfer this plant in its spot so they will continue to grow. Now when you transfer seedlings, if you pull the seedlings from the soil, think about a child. When you lift a child, you don't lift in the arm or ear. You have to place your hand under the armpit of a child and lift it up. The same thing when you handle the seedlings. So what you need, use your both hands, either your left hand or right hand. One hand should be at the bottom of the cell that you're going to take the seedling, and then the other finger you are going to hold in the midsection of the seedling. So this is the right technique. Holding on the leaves is a wrong technique. Now when you pull, you have to work together, both hands, pincing a little bit of this cell, and then at the same time pulling slowly and like that. So after you pull, you have to examine the root to make sure it is not infected or it's not rot. So right now it's healthy. So this is how you lift the seedling. So when you plant your seedling, fill your pot. You can use 4 inch or this size. You can use any kind of soilless as long as it has a good aeration and drainage. But it is best to use this cactus mix. So what you will need is to place the desert rose plant just like that, and make sure you don't cover the whole stem or whole base, just a quarter of that base. Because if you cover the whole of the stem, when you water it, it might the water would absorb that stem and rot. So just fill that a quart from the base, just like that. Okay, so we plant our seedling like that, and then after you plant the seedlings, at this stage they need a good amount of nutrients. It's just like a baby, you need to feed them all the time. So although the desert rose doesn't need more fertilization, but at this time, because they're still young, you definitely fertilize them well. So what fertilizer I use here, I use the 2020 because this is for succulent. You can use any kind of fertilizer, or you can use Asmocot. Asmocot is good too. You can use water soluble or granules. So you only need 1/2 teaspoon of nutrients there. So just mix in water. So dilute the nutrients and water your plants. So place a saucer and then put your seedlings, and then when you water it, water from below. This is going to the water is going to radiate from below to the top. Alright guys, so after you transplant the seedlings in a pot, give them at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. You take them outdoor, give them morning sun, but make sure you don't keep the plant outdoor for too long. You need to acclimate the seedlings first. You keep outdoor for a couple of hours, then bring them back inside your home, and do this for a week until the plant can get used to the new environment and can stand for a long period of time outside. Now watering, Desert rose doesn't need too much water. That is desert rose, guys, okay? So that's what it says, desert rose. So they prefer in the drought side. So I only water once a week of my desert rose unless it is too dry. So minimize your watering. It's better under watering than over watering because the calyx is already holding 90% of water. If you add another water again, so the plants cannot hold too much water, it causes edema. Edema is a #1 cellular problem in the tissue of the plant, that too much water, it bursts. So the water cannot go anywhere, so it leaks from the stem, so the stem turns rot. So avoid over watering. Now pruning, I normally don't prune my plant unless the branch is facing towards the center. Then I take the branch because I don't want overcrowding. Crowding creates fungus. Now you might see a lot of people trim the root so heavily and sometimes they chop the stem. If you are new, guys, please don't do that. Those people are expert gardeners. I'm an agriculture, I know what I'm doing. Even if I know what I'm doing here, I still don't try doing it and injured my plants and putting my plants in risk. So I have to be careful of my plant. I might trim the root because pruning increases branching of the root, and also it helps the plant to create more roots. But just be careful. When I prune the root, I dip it in an antifungal powder. I use neem powder and dip the root so that the wound is the neem powder protects the wound against pathogen. They can grow in any type of soil as long as the soil has good aeration and good drainage. Now the desert rose is zone 11, so they cannot stand cold. So if you live in subtropical region, bring your desert rose inside your home. You might experience losing leaves. That is normal. That is a plant response. That is normal response for the plant. As you can see here, there's not enough leaves. So now it is springtime, close to spring, and you can see new leaves coming out. So don't alarm yourself. Now fertilization, desert rose doesn't need too much fertilizer. I fertilize my plant only once a month. So I use the 2020 to, if I use 2020, I fertilize twice because it is a water soluble and it can easily drain out during watering. You use Asmacot. Asmacot is good, or you can use any kind of slow release fertilizer. That's good thing of using slow release fertilizer. It only delivers a small amount of nutrients to the plant that your plants need. So you only like skip 6 months before you add another fertilizer. So fertilize them in spring when they are in the active growth, and then don't fertilize when they are approaching fall or winter because they are in the stagnant stage. They need to rest. So I hope I mentioned everything, guys. So I don't have these diseases. Aphids, mostly aphids, spiders, and some other. I don't have problems of my desert rose. But here's the thing, guys. If you take care of your plant, if you give them proper amount of water, proper amount of sunlight, and proper amount of nutrients, your plants will be happy and healthy. It's almost like human being. If we are stressed, if we don't eat good, we don't sleep good, and we don't drink good, then our body is trying to work hard, and then we get sick. But if we have a good amount of sleep, good amount of food we eat, and also good resting, and we are happy, then we are stress-free, then I'm sure we live longer. So the same thing as the plant. So I hope I mentioned a lot in here, guys. So if you have any comments, write your comments below this video. If you have any topic that you want to go over, you want me to go over in the next video, write the comments also. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you next week. This is Marcelina at CashewGreens.com. Stay green and grow big. Peace out.